Okay, so the first thing, let's crack right into these things. How to overcome suppliers that lie to you to save face, right? And this is something that I saw this on a post like last week, and I was like, oh, this is a great post. And it made made a lot of sense. I was like, okay, so what does this mean to me? What does this mean for the people that watch the videos, people that consume the content and stuff like that? And it's such a true saying, right? The Chinese culture, they want to save face, right? And this may not be just the Chinese culture. I'm not kind of pigeonholing Chinese people, but this is something where it's about kind of loyalty, respect, and it's a big part of their culture. This is definitely what I've come to learn. Saving face is a big part of everyday life for them, and sometimes they will tell little fibs because they don't want to tell you the real reason, because they don't want to disrespect you, and they want to save face themselves. They don't want to look like they're being mean, right? So saving face is a big part of it, and sometimes they just won't tell you the things that I'm about to tell you, but you can kind of read between the lines once you understand what they are, so you can just kind of swerve them, or you can do things so that basically you don't get into that position. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few tips, right? Reasons why they might do this. I'm going to just give you a couple of reasons. They think you're not experienced enough. This is probably one of the biggest reasons why they think that you're not experienced enough, or you're not an experienced seller. So what I do within my supplier outreach, when I'm talking with my suppliers generally, is I would not so much claim, but I would show that my business is bigger than it is, right? If you're a beginner, if you've never sold on Amazon before, you don't tell them that, right? You don't say that. You let them assume that you've been selling for a while, or you have a business that's existing, right? You're not kind of lying, but you're just letting them assume what they want to assume. But you're not saying, I'm a beginner, I've never done this before. You're saying, this is how many units we're looking to sell in the first year. When they need a logo, you don't say, okay, I'll get you the logo today. Instead, you would say, I'll get my designer to work on the logo and send it over to you. It's just a different way of positioning the same thing that makes you look a bit more experienced, okay? So they might think that you're not experienced enough. My spelling off. Yeah. We won't worry about the spelling. They already supply to other sellers, right? Then they don't want to create too much competition, because the problem is, if they have too much competition, it's going to drive the price down, and that's of course not good for anyone, because they want people to make money. So they might already be supplying to one of your major competitors and think, oh, I don't know if we should do this. This company looks pretty good. They look like they're going to sell a lot of units. Maybe we won't be able to supply to both of them and keep them both happy. So they might just have that conflict of interest. And this is the point, really. They don't want to ruin an existing relationship. If, for example, they end up giving you a better price than one of their better clients, that is going to ruin a relationship. It's something that they would never do, and they will give you an excuse as to why they maybe they can't do that to save face, right? They're not going to blatantly say to you, oh, we can't supply to you because we supply to someone else. They're not going to say that. They're going to give a reason, an excuse why they can't do it. Last kind of reason, there are more, but they believe that you're being disrespectful, and this can happen quite a lot, when, particularly with prices, when you're really lowballing them on the price. They just think, what are they thinking? And this happens. Say, for example, I'm trying to get something outsourced, and someone's always talking about price. They're always like, price, 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 price. Then it really makes me not want to do business with them. It makes me think that all they're going to talk about is the price, and actually I want a good service, right? It's not always about price. And suppliers will be the same. They want a healthy relationship. If they think you're going to be always badgering them about price, 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 lowering, 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 they're just not going to do business with you. It's not going to be a healthy relationship for you. So, and those are kind of some of the reasons that you might find. And here is how you're going to overcome those issues. Now, the reason we're going into this first is because if you jump this and you do these things, it could kind of set you back. So like I said earlier, I want to save you time, I want to save you money. So make sure you understand these things first. Understand the terminology, particularly things like shipping terms and what a product invoice is, or a pro forma invoice, sorry. Just understanding the terminology is really, really going to help. And I understand that you won't understand all the terminology straight away. At times they'll say things to me, and I'm like, no idea what they're talking about, right? It's just terminology I've not come across before. And it happens. That's perfectly normal. But what you shouldn't do, okay, is ask them, what does that mean? Because although you could do, and they would come up with an answer for you, it lets them know that maybe you are a bit inexperienced and you haven't done it before. So what you would do is you would go onto Google and you would find the answer to whatever the acronym means, or whatever you're trying to find out. There's so many resources out there. Although they might take a little bit longer, go and use those resources, because it's going to mean that you're not going to look a bit amateur, right? And that's ideally what we don't want to be an amateur, right? We want to look professional. We want to have authority. So understand the terminology is very, very important. Of course, don't go in there and just say things that are just completely ridiculous. This is why I have my supplier scripts, is because I want people to just be able to copy and paste and just literally put it in there, insert the things that are relevant to them, and then they're not going to make any mistakes. They're going to use the correct terminology. Okay, try not to look like a beginner, and this kind of goes down into understanding the terminology and asking things like, what does that mean, or I don't understand that. It's best to just wait. Don't reply to them just yet. Go and find out, understand the process a bit more, and then reply to them. Okay. Be respectful with your negotiations. I think that's one of the main things where, say for example, your anchor price is too low, and what I mean by an anchor price is the price that you say, I'll only pay higher than $2, right? Then if that's way too low, they're going to look at you like, what the hell is this person talking about? That's just ridiculous. And it's kind of disrespectful to really do a lowball price, and they'll just look at you like, what are you doing? Like, you clearly have no idea how this works. And that's going to really hurt your negotiations. So you need to be respectful with your negotiations. Don't tell them to piss off and all that sort of stuff. If you think the price is too high, just respectfully tell them that you think it's too high, rather than saying, no, I'm not paying that. So just little things like that, I think it's really going to help when you're negotiating, okay? Know when to walk away, right? Knowing when to walk away is really important. If they have a conflict of interest with someone else, even they might be the seller themselves, right? They might be selling and think, oh, we don't want this competition, right? Know when to walk away. If it's right to walk away and find another supplier. If they take ages to reply to you, walk away and find another supplier. If they tell you that they can't work with you, walk away and find another supplier. Don't waste your time on people that you're not going to do business with. Just literally move on. So that's one of the things. Don't kind of be like, oh, why won't they speak to me? Why won't they do deals? Just find another supplier. There's plenty out there, okay? So the second thing we're going to look at is my supplier outreach strategy. And the reason is I want you to use this so you can put your best foot forward. Now I'm going to give you this for absolute freebies, okay? You have made it to the end of the video, and I have two recommendations. You can watch this video right here or this one just down here, but also if you do want to subscribe, then you can subscribe to this channel by using this little link here, and my main channel using this little link here. So there we go, guys. Enjoy it, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.